We are now 2 days into the PTS, and I can already safely say that next season is going to be a lot of fun. Whether it be for the running guns, whether it be for the skill builds, the healers, whether it be for some weird PvP purposes. There's a lot of things to look forward to with this next season. Not only that, but we were given a bombshell of a change that a lot of people in the community have been asking for years now. And we have been given a completely new revamp to the current systems that is actually going to make everyone want to play the Division 2. I mean, it's crazy to say this, but I'm actually really enjoying this PTS. And I have not been able to say that for a few years now. So this is a good surprise for me. Let me explain. All right, here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 PTS video. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But in today's video, I'm going to show you the top 3 things coming to the Division 2 that will make you actually want to play the game again. So I hope you enjoy, all right? Now, the very first thing I want to show you with the new PTS is over here. Now, before we start talking about all these changes, what do I mean by PTS? What do I mean by next season and all that jazz? If you look in the top right of your screen, you can see the Division 2 logo with PTS and my gamer tag. This means we are in the public test server. So I'm actually testing everything that will come out next season. Now, next season is set to go live February 25th. So we only have a few weeks before this will actually be in the game. So that's why I'm breaking all this down now. That way you can look forward to it and get ready in a few weeks when it goes live. So with that, the very first thing is the stash increase. So the stash has been increased to 400. Now this is only for people that own the Year 1 Pass and Warlords of New York. So basically, if you have the Ultimate Edition with Warlords of New York, you're good to go for that 400 stash space. If you only bought the Year 1 Pass and did not get Warlords of New York, you only get a 50 increase to a total of 350. And the same thing applies if you only got Warlords of New York, but you did not get the Year 1 Pass, you only get 350 in your stash. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's pretty easy to check, okay? If you pull up your map, the blue icons right here, these are your classified assignments. These are only given to you if you have the Year 1 Pass. So a nice telltale sign is if you can open up your map and you see these classified assignments, then you have the Year 1 Pass. That is a plus 50 to your stash right there. Booyah! Now the other one is Warlords of New York. Now if you can access Warlords of New York, you own it, you will get an additional 50 increase to your stash. So that is how you get the 400 stash that I currently have, because I own the Year 1 Pass with the classified assignments, and I own the Year 2 expansion, Warlords of New York. So that's how you get your 400 stash, all right? So it goes from 300 to 400 in just a couple weeks. So that was a big ticket item for the community for years. Every single stream, they would say, where's the content? What about PvP? And what about stash increase? So this has knocked out one of those major 3 questions. Not bad, right? So that's the number one thing to look forward to next season. Now the next is going to be the entire seasonal structure. They changed the entire thing yet again, but more so just tweaking what we were just given this current season with the Seasons 2.0 structure. So what do I mean by that? I know it's a lot of word salad. So if you click over to your season, there we go, we have a completely different journey. Now it's the same setup as the last journey that we just did. There will be 7 mission tiers. You complete all of them for that hunter mask, right? They're showing us the old hunter mask because they're not going to give us the new one for the PTS. But the journey itself is completely different. What do I mean by that? Well, right off the bat, you will have Journey Mission 1 and 3 unlocked at the same time. Because, and this is what the devs said, is that by the time you complete Journey Mission 3, you should have already completed 1 and 2 at the same time. And 1 and 2 have no modifiers or anything for the rewards. It's kind of just like the beginner's guide. And then the mission number 3 is where you start to get those modifiers. So all of the modifiers will now be locked behind your seasonal journey. None of it will be locked behind your priority objectives. So you can see here, Journey Mission 3, 4, 5, and 6. All of these give you modifiers. And none of the seasonal journey mission objectives are linked to Warlords of New York. None of them. So for now on, you do not need Warlords of New York to do the seasonal journey. They completely changed that. A lot of people should be happy. All right? So that's big, big W for that. So the seasonal journey is not only easier, but it actually gets you to play with the modifiers in different ways to enjoy the journey itself. And then you earn more modifiers and you have more fun. The other thing, priority objectives, they changed this to where now every day you get 3 rerolls. So you can see at the bottom the reroll capacity. I could sit here and just reroll this 3 times every day, and it will just keep coming back. Now, the other thing that they changed here is you will get seasonal XP with every single priority objective, and you will get seasonal XP, I believe, with everything you do, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so everything you do will now give you seasonal XP. So that's how they're doing that. Not a bad change. These are all good tweaks. Now, this is just to the seasonal part, right? So the journey's a little bit easier, but it's forcing you to use the modifiers. A lot of people are like, ew, modifiers. Well, this is the caveat to that. The modifiers are actually really good this season. Like, really, really good this season. So the modifiers, the global modifier is called Rogue Momentum. So think of this as Golden Bullet, but a little bit less so. It is the Golden Bullet. It gives you movement speed, reload speed, weapon damage, skill damage, rate of fire. It gives you all the things that a typical Golden Bullet global event would give you. And this is for the entire season. The entire season. Not only that, but it gets stronger and stronger and stronger with the more kills you get. And if you find the enemies that have an icon over their head, they are considered a blacklisted enemy. And killing those enemies will give you even bigger buffs. So this is a great modifier. It is just to get even higher as you go. So there's no real drawbacks here. Like you could start at the very beginning and you still get some buffs, and then every kill you then get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. It's really fun. There's really no drawbacks here at all. There's really no drawbacks. The active modifiers are even stronger. So the active modifiers here, you have overdrive, which I love because you hit this and your momentum is immediately maxed out. You get 30% weapon damage, skill damage, rate of fire, and unlimited ammo while this thing is activated. It's banana pancakes. It's truly crazy. I love it. The other ones are just as good. So the tactical supremacy, this will double your passive modifiers. Ridiculous. It's crazy. Because some of these passive modifiers, like look at this one. So we have crit hits will repair your armor. So just run a high crit chance build. We have crit hits will give you momentum. So even as you're just shooting the enemy, you're getting stronger because you're gaining momentum just by shooting the enemy. Like some of these passive modifiers are really strong. And that's the whole point of the modifiers. They want you to feel strong. They want you to enjoy this because they want you to use them for the seasonal journey. So, just going through these really quick, you'll see a lot of these are really fun, and you can already think of build videos to use. This passive modifier, aggressive drone, increases your striker drone damage and reduces the duration at the same time. We have Seeker Mine, deals double the damage to blacklisted enemies. Explosive kills will reduce the skill cooldown. Let's see here. If you get a multi kill, though, that is a drawback on that one. Fortified shield. This increases your shield's base health by 100%. Microwave coils. Your pulse that affects any sort of enemy has a chance of burning them. Like some of these are crazy. Kills with skills will double your momentum gain. The decoy skill will emit a bright flash when destroyed or deactivated, blinding enemies. Like, come on. The range is 40 meters. Like, some of these are ridiculously cool. Player drones that are destroyed or dismantled apply a shock to nearby enemies. Enemies scanned by a pulse have a 25% chance to receive that blacklist mark. Remember, if you have any enemies that are blacklisted, you gain more momentum when you kill them. So, I mean, that's perfect. Like I said, this is like a golden bullet light type of effect. You get the weapon damage, you get the rate of fire, you get the reload speed, you get the movement speed, you get everything that you would typically get from a golden bullet, but you don't have to shoot a golden bullet enemy. It's just from shooting any enemies. Now, if you do shoot the blacklisted enemies, yes, you do gain more, but that's it. This one right here, reactive reinforcement. It heals 5% of your armor when your shield takes damage. I mean, that's basically Foundry Bulwark. I mean, these are a lot of fun. And this is a crazy change compared to the modifiers we had in the current season of the game, where a lot of people were not even using them. These modifiers are so strong, you pretty much have to use them. Now, this one. This is an amazing way of using hostile modifiers. Now, I know as soon as I say hostile modifiers, a lot of people are rolling their eyes and they're like, great, making the game harder. This one only gets harder when you complete seasonal journey chapters. That's it. It does not get harder until you continuously progress into your seasonal journey. That's pretty cool, right? So, Frenzy. Frenzy is basically Golden Bullet, but for the enemy. So it's rate of fire, movement speed, health regen, armor regen. I mean, it's the typical stuff from Golden Bullet, but it's a little bit lower and it slowly progresses as you go further into the seasonal journey. So this is nothing compared to how strong you are. And you can't even tell. Like, this is ridiculously low. You can't even tell that the enemies are moving faster or shooting faster. It really does not show. And part of that is because I am not through the seasonal journey yet. So they're really not that bad. I'm able to capitalize on all the modifiers and not have, stupid strong enemies. So I mean, you're basically put into like this god mode state with the modifiers that we are getting next season. So we get an increase to stash space, we get an easier journey with better modifiers, and we get seasonal XP for everything that we do. Okay? So those are two things to look forward to, right? And those are two pretty big things to look forward to for next season. Now, the next one is the amount of playstyle diversity they are putting into the game with this next season. Now, what do I mean by that? If we think about previous seasons, they were fixated on one thing, whether it be sniping, pulse, whether it be, it was always one thing that they were hyper focused on every season. And it kind of made the season this like tunnel vision of build diversity, because then we would have our spotter builds, then things like that. Then we would have our status effects builds, then we would have this, and what they have done this season is they have promoted several different play styles within the same season. Now, are they all amazing play styles? No, not at all. I think that just the overall premise, the overall action of them doing this is a good thing, because this shows that us that they're not fixated in one idea at a time, and they can push multiple ideas at the same time. So what do I mean by this? We have a few different exotics. So first up, we have the new exotic SMG. Now, yes, it does have a stupid low magazine. It's not that great. However, the talent promotes a different playstyle. So years back, they added a function to your shield where once your shield is destroyed, you then become disoriented. It's automatic. So what this kind of does is override that to where your shield shouldn't break as long as you're using it with this weapon and you're damaging the enemy in some capacity, right? So this completely promotes shields, the usage of shields again, where even myself, I will admit, after year 2 and the introduction of the firewall shield, I was done with shields. I was like, nope, done, see ya. And I put shields away. I never really use them unless it's for a very specific build. And well, this weapon really makes you want to use a shield. More importantly, it makes you want to use a shield with the Artificer Hive. Artificer? The Artificer Hive. Now, the reason for that is the Artificer Hive will heal your shield while you are healing your shield with your SMG. So you're getting both at the same time. Not only that, but then you're able to have, say, a tier 6 shield while still utilizing, a damage build, for instance. Now, yes, there will be other combinations that I'll show throughout this PTS, including, Foundry Bulwark and things like that, to really expose how well this SMG will handle. But the overall idea of this is to promote shields again, this playstyle. Next up, we have this new backpack, right? The Birdie. Now, the Birdie's Quick Fix Pack, it looks cool. It does look cool. But like I said, not all of these playstyles are going to be that great. And this is one of them. Now, this is a reviver backpack to where you only benefit from reviving somebody. So say you're in a good team and people don't typically go down, or they have their own reviver hive or what have you, this kind of falls flat because there's no use for it. Unless your team is just going, really hard in the paint with like damage builds with no revive hives, and they're just, waiting for you to come pick them up. I could see it that way, maybe. But this is a very niche, very, very niche backpack. It sounds cool. It looks cool. But in reality, you would use this with a healer build, probably future initiative. You would wait for people to go down, and then that's when, you get all happy. You're like, oh yes, Bob just went down. Come here, Bob, patch yourself up. Woohoo! And then you get your buff. But for the other 90% of the game, this bag is not really going to help you out. You see what I mean? It looks cool. It promotes a new, play style. It is very unique. I like it. But just when it comes to applying it to the game, it's going to be very niche. Because now you're missing out on perfectly opportunistic. If you were to use that with the lefty and perfect sledge, you're missing a few things here. That's all I'm saying. Next up, we had the exotic gloves. Right now, these I have like a love-hate relationship. In PvP, it's not really it's cool, but it's not really going to do anything to you there. Because in PvP, when you lose your armor, and you don't have unbreakable, you're pretty much already dead. So the whole smoke cloud thing doesn't really matter. You're already pretty much dead. Now, using it with unbreakable, I did find it worked perfectly fine. Was a lot of fun. Use it with armor regeneration. That way, when the smoke pops, you can get your armor back. And then by the time the smoke is gone, you're ready to fight again. I mean, there are some cool builds that I've put together with this, and I will show later on during this PTS. But just overall, it is I wouldn't say a gimmick, but pretty close. Like, yeah, it is cool, but the smoke doesn't disorient anybody. It doesn't really hurt anything or do anything. It's not a status effect. There's no sort of way of increasing it or decreasing it. It's just a cool little feature, you know? Um, but when it comes to PvP, I have noticed that it works on different cooldown timers. So if you're in a group and all four of you have the different smoke screens, I mean, you could have them all go off, over and over and over and over, just depending on the different armor bars and everything. I mean, it's okay, but again, you're wasting an exotic slot for it. So right off the bat, it's like, eesh, is it really that worth it? I mean, just think of, the Coyotes mask, the Vial mask, the Memento backpack, the Ninja Bike backpack, the Ridgeway's Pride chest piece. There's so many other things you could use in place of these gloves, but it is promoting a different play style. I get it. It's cool. It's unique. The smoke is cool. It'll put a smile on your face the first time you see it. You're like, oh, wow, that's cool. But once you apply it to the real game, it's all right in PvE. It's probably useless in PvP, if I'm going to be honest with you. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. So promoting different playstyles, right? Then we have this crazy mamma jamma, Perfect Energize. So Perfect Energize using a medkit will give you a skill tier and then grant you overcharge. You can do this every 30 seconds. Now, right off the bat, my first thought is that if you were to get this chest piece right here, perfectly efficient, if you were to get this one with, like, say, all yellows and then match that up with perfect energize, you could use the med kits and them never consume, or at least have a 75% chance of not consuming, and then you could just keep popping overcharge time and time again. I mean, couldn't be a bad thing. I will be testing this out during the PTS, but this is more towards your support builds. Like, you'd be hanging back, letting your skills do all the work, and then you would just be popping overcharge, popping overcharge, popping overcharge. I mean, pretty useful, but again, it's like a niche play style. It's really not the best, but these are all different play styles that they are promoting all at the same time. It's not like a fixated play style that they're just like heavily jumping into. Now, also talking about different play styles, we have the new gear set, and this thing is pretty crazy. Now, I'll be again, I'm gonna break down each of these things individually in different videos because there's so much to digest here. But again, with the different playstyles. So this one promotes a skill build that can help heal teammates. It's crazy, but it's true. So you could use this as a full skill build and repair your allies and yourself at the same time. Now, with this chess piece, it will repair your allies for 35% of the damage you deal with skills. So if you're one of those that likes to sit back with like a turret drone build and then have your teammates go out there and, go all crazy while your skills help them, they're going to stay alive even more so now because your skills are actually doing something and it's healing them at the same time. So it kind of gives you this like double reason to use skill builds. Crazy, but it's a different it's a different playstyle. I actually really like this. I'm trying to figure out how that would work with like status effects versus like just turret drone versus like oxidizer. Like there's a lot of things to test with this one, but again, it's promoting different playstyles. Pretty cool, right? Now, finally, we'll talk about the brand set. The brand set, it's something. So the skill duration, skill efficiency, and repair skills all work together if you think about it. Because your repair skills need duration, and that skill efficiency helps the repair skills as well. Pretty crazy. Now you could use the two piece for a normal skill build and just, maximize or, take advantage of that skill efficiency two-piece bonus. The three-piece bonus gives you 52% repair skills, which is crazy because you can, well, what's the attribute for repair skills? 20%? 20%. So you're saying just on one piece, I could have 72% repair skills just on one item. That's crazy. But overall, the brand set, it's okay. The knee pads are called grease and they give you status effects. I don't I don't think we need more status effects in the game, but I am glad to try it out. But overall, the brand set seems to be the least wowing item out of all of this. Because all the other items, they're promoting these different play styles individually. They're all different play styles. Like if you're nasty, you could try to put all these play styles together, but it'd be pretty hard. But I mean, the reviver playstyle, the healing skill build playstyle, the shield build playstyle, the running gun smoke screen playstyle, these are all promoting different playstyles. And I think that's an overall win for the Division 2, where these past seasons have been pretty, one hit wonders, whether it be, just going straight skills or going straight tanks or going straight pulse or going, something like that. So this is a nice refreshing, trajectory for the franchise. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Those are your top 3 things coming to the Division 2 next season. And remember, this goes live on the 25th, and tomorrow is what, the 1st? So I mean, we're just over 3 weeks out. But I am Kamikazevondoom. I'll bring you more PTS content as the days go on. Let me know what you think in the comments, and well, I'll see you in the next one, all right? Take care of yourself. Peace out.